For years, seniors across America, the UK, and Canada have been told the same thing. Hit 10,000 steps a day. Every day, no exceptions. It is on your smartwatch. It is in your fitness app. Your doctor probably mentioned it. It is everywhere. But here is something that might surprise you. That number, 10,000 steps, was never based on science. Not even a little bit. I am going to show you where that number actually came from. And then I am going to show you what the latest science, including a landmark study published in The Lancet in 2025, says the real number is for people over 60. The difference might completely change how you think about walking and your heart, and stay with me until the end, because I am also going to share the walking mistake that cardiologists say can actually put stress on your heart after 60. Most seniors are making it right now without knowing it. Here is something almost nobody knows. The 10,000 steps goal did not come from a medical study. It did not come from a cardiologist or a scientist. It was not a recommendation from the NHS, the CDC, or any health organization. It came from a Japanese marketing campaign. In 1965, the year after the Tokyo Olympics, a Japanese company called Yamasa released the world's first commercial pedometer. They called it the Manpo-K. In Japanese, that literally means 10,000 step meter. They picked that number because it sounded motivating and was easy to remember. The Japanese character for 10,000 even looks a little like a person walking. It was great marketing. Dr. Ai-Min Lee, a professor of epidemiology at Harvard Medical School, put it plainly. She said the 10,000 step target was, and I am quoting here, a made-up number. It sounded good. It was easy to remember. And somehow, that 1965 marketing slogan became a global health target. It spread to smartwatches, to fitness apps, to doctors' offices, and millions of older adults started pushing themselves every single day to hit a number that a pedometer company made up 60 years ago to sell devices. And here is the thing. Many seniors push themselves past what their knees, their hips, or their energy levels can handle, trying to hit that number, feeling guilty when they cannot, wondering what they are doing wrong. You were not doing anything wrong. You were chasing the wrong number. So, what does the science actually say? The largest and most comprehensive review ever done on daily steps and health was published in The Lancet in August 2025. The Lancet is one of the most respected medical journals in the world. This review looked at 57 separate studies involving over 160,000 people, both healthy adults and people with chronic health conditions. Here is what they found. People who walked 7,000 steps per day had a 25% lower risk of cardiovascular disease and a 47% lower risk of dying from any cause, compared to people who walked only 2,000 steps. Not 10,000. 7,000. And here is the part that really matters. The researchers found that after around 7,000 to 8,000 steps, the health benefits started to level off. Going from 7,000 to 10,000 steps did show some additional benefit, but it was fairly modest compared to that enormous jump from low activity to 7,000 steps. A separate study published in JAMA Network Open followed 3,101 adults using accelerometers over 10 years. It found that even people who only hit 8,000 steps 1 or 2 days per week had substantially lower all-cause and cardiovascular mortality than people who rarely reached that number. The message from the research is clear. Consistency at a moderate level beats occasional perfection at a high level, and the pressure to hit 10,000 every single day, for most people over 60, is simply not supported by the evidence. This is actually good news. If you have been struggling to hit 10,000 steps, you do not need to. 7,000 is where the biggest benefits are. And if you are currently walking 3,000 or 4,000 steps per day, getting to 7,000 will do more for your heart than any other single change you could make. Earlier, I promised you the walking mistake that cardiologists warn about after 60. Here it is, walking too slowly, for too long, without ever raising your effort level. Here is why it matters for your heart. A major study published in the journal Heart examined data from more than 420,000 UK Biobank participants followed for nearly 14 years. People who walked at an average or brisk pace had up to a 43% lower risk of developing heart arrhythmias, abnormal heart rhythms, compared to those who always walked slowly. Harvard cardiologists confirmed these findings. A faster walking pace was found to lower cholesterol, blood sugar, and blood pressure, all at the same time. And Cleveland Clinic research found that people who regularly walk faster than 3 miles per hour had a 50% lower risk of heart disease than those who always walked below 2 miles per hour. Now, before you worry, this does not mean running. It does not mean pushing yourself to exhaustion. It does not mean anything painful. It simply means walking with intention, walking like you have somewhere to go. Not a stroll, a purposeful walk, and in a moment, I am going to give you the simplest possible way to know if you are walking at the right pace for your heart. It takes zero equipment, zero cost. You can use it right now. So here is the first practical thing you can do. Starting tomorrow morning, a 15-minute brisk walk within the first hour after you wake up. Research links this single habit to lower blood pressure, improved blood sugar control, better mood through the whole day, and a stronger sleep cycle at night. Not a 45-minute workout. 15 minutes. Out the door. Brisk pace. Back home. Here is why the morning specifically is so powerful for seniors. When you walk in natural morning light within the first hour of waking, it suppresses melatonin, the sleep hormone, and sets your body's internal clock for the day. That same clock controls when you feel sleepy at night. Morning light exposure is one of the most evidence-backed tools for improving sleep quality in older adults, which means your morning walk directly improves tonight's sleep. Walking first thing also activates your body's cortisol response in a healthy way. Cortisol normally peaks in the morning, and gentle exercise at that time channels that energy constructively rather than letting it sit and contribute to chronic stress. Here's your morning walk formula. Step outside within 60 minutes of waking. Walk at a pace that feels like 3 out of 10 effort. You are moving, you are warm, but you are not struggling. 15 minutes minimum. No phone, no headphones, if possible. Let your senses engage with the morning. That 15 minutes creates a chain reaction of benefits that runs through your entire day. Your blood sugar is better regulated. Your blood pressure is calmer. Your mood is lifted. And tonight, you will sleep better than you did last night. I promised you the simplest way to know if you are walking at the right pace for your heart. No gadgets, no speed tracking, no heart rate monitor needed. It is called the talk test, and the CDC public health experts and cardiologists all recognize it as a reliable guide to moderate intensity exercise. The rule is this: you should be able to talk while you walk, but you should not be able to sing. If you can talk comfortably and sing along to a song, you are walking too slowly. Pick up the pace a little. If you cannot say more than 2 or 3 words without gasping, you're working too hard. Slow down a little. If you can hold a conversation but singing would feel difficult, you have found your sweet spot. That is the zone where your heart gets stronger, your blood pressure benefits, and your cardiovascular fitness improves. Experts define this moderate intensity level as roughly 100 steps per minute. That is brisk but comfortable. It is 3 miles per hour, which is faster than a casual stroll but much slower than any kind of jogging. The beauty of the talk test is that it automatically adjusts for your individual fitness level. A very fit 65-year-old might achieve moderate intensity at a faster pace than a 70-year-old who has been less active. The talk test does not care about the speed number. It cares about how hard your body is working. And that is exactly what matters. Now let us run through the most common walking mistakes seniors make. Fast, one at a time. Mistake 1. Walking only once or twice per week. The research is clear. Frequency matters more than distance. 3 to 5 shorter walks beats 1 long walk every time. Mistake 2. Going too hard too fast when starting out. Your cardiovascular system and your joints need time to adapt. Start at 20 minutes 3 times a week. Add 5 minutes every 2 weeks. Consistency first, intensity second. Mistake 3. Ignoring recovery. If your knees or hips ache the day after a walk, that is your body asking for a rest day. Skipping rest days is how small discomforts become injuries that sideline you for months. Mistake 4. Poor posture. Head forward, shoulders rounded, eyes on the ground. This compresses your spine, switches off your glutes, and reduces your stride length. Chin up, shoulders back and relaxed, eyes 10 feet ahead. That is all it takes. Mistake 5. Walking immediately after a heavy meal. Give your body 30 to 60 minutes after a big meal before walking briskly. A light 15-minute stroll after dinner is perfect and brilliant for blood sugar. But a hard, brisk walk right after a heavy meal diverts blood away from digestion and can cause cramps, nausea, or dizziness. I want you to hear this clearly, because this is the most important thing I will say today. You do not need extreme workouts. You do not need to chase 10,000 steps every single day. You do not need to feel guilty when your body needs rest. You do not need to push through pain to prove something. The science says 7,000 steps a day at a pace where you can talk but not sing. 3 to 5 days a week. A 15-minute morning walk when you can. A gentle evening stroll after dinner. That is it. That is the program that the research, including the largest walking study ever conducted, says is associated with a 47% lower risk of dying too soon, a 25% lower risk of heart disease, a 43% lower risk of abnormal heart rhythms. Not a gym membership, not a personal trainer, not expensive equipment. Just walking. Consistently. At a pace where your heart knows it is working. If you have been walking for years feeling like you are failing because you never hit 10,000, you were never failing. You were being misled by a 60-year-old marketing campaign. Now you know better. And now you can walk with confidence. Let us bring it all together. The 10,000-step rule came from a 1965 Japanese marketing campaign, not science. The science, from the largest review ever published on this topic, says 7,000 steps per day is where the biggest health benefits happen for older adults. A 47% lower risk of death, a 25% lower risk of heart disease. Pace matters. Walking briskly, where you can talk but not sing, is the target. Research from 420,000 people found that brisk walkers had a 43% lower risk of dangerous heart rhythm problems. Your morning walk is your most powerful daily habit. 15 minutes, within the first hour of waking. It sets your sleep, your stress, your blood sugar, and your blood pressure for the entire day. And the most common mistakes: walking only once a week, going too hard, ignoring recovery, walking hunched, and walking right after a big meal. Those are all fixable starting today. So if you have been forcing yourself to hit 10,000 steps every day, the science says your ideal number may actually be much lower, and your heart will still thank you for it. If this video helped you rethink how you walk, please subscribe. Every single week, I share simple, research-backed strategies to help you feel stronger, think sharper, and live longer after 60. And one final thing, because I genuinely care about your safety. Everything in this video is for educational purposes only. It is not medical advice. If you have a heart condition, joint problems, or any health concern, please speak with your own doctor before changing your exercise routine. They know your full health picture. I do not. I will see you in the next one. Stay well.